I am a 16-year-old coach who coaches coaches. Do you understand how crowded this market is? Yet I was still able to make over $82,000 last month. Now, as you can see, there's $61,000 in my fan bases. These are the crypto payments that I received, and this is the bank transfer that I received. 97,000 Norwegian kroners, 9.6k pay in full. Adds up to $82,000 in total. Now, you guys can go onto my Instagram, you can go onto my ads library, and you can copy me. There's already a lot of people who are doing that. However, it's never going to work because you don't understand the positioning and you don't have the same positioning as I do in the market. Now, what is positioning? Positioning is passive selling, or the backbone of active selling. Positioning is what makes someone buy before they ever book a call. And it's the intersection of what the market already believes and expects, what your competitors are known for or failing at, and the unique advantages and angles that only you can credibly claim to create your own unique market positioning. And no one really shows you this. If you look up positioning and info on YouTube, or even positioning in general, no one has a video on it, because everything they have is their front end. And if they revealed how their positioning work, they would have to be transparent about the engineered image and angle that they used to sell you, which they can't do because their entire business model is built upon a strong front end and a poor back end. However, because I have such a good backend and I have great client results, I'm able to make this guide where I'll show you my exact positioning. Because it's so different in different niches, I'm also going to show you for my clients, like Sebastian, who's making 60k a month, I'll show you his positioning, or Alec, who's making 130k a month, or Andres, who's making over 60k per month. To be able to do positioning effectively, you need data. And I'm able to have data and make 80k a month because I have data from being active in fulfillment behind 35 plus clients that are actually winning. And because I have this data, I'm able to make 80k a month myself, and I'm able to distribute it to all my different clients to see what's currently working, because all the data is tracked on every single offer. Now, if you don't have data, I'm going to show you exactly some of what is working for clients right now, so you can take advantage of all the work that I've put in myself. The first step to positioning is understanding your market, understanding your ideal customer profile as a whole. First of all, like the basics, like who is it? For me, it's info businesses stuck around 25 to 100k a month, or someone who wants to monetize a skill set. So someone who wants to start their info business and scale it. They're usually male. I don't have anything against working with females, but that's usually who I attract. So that's where I run all my ads, because you attract who you are. That's why it's male 18 to 25, because that's mainly who resonates the most with me and the type of content I make. Current status, they're either paid and they need to add paid traffic, or they want to turn their skill into an offer that sells. They're typically around 10 to 50k per month. They're feeling stressed, confused, envious of people that are making way more money. They have no consistent acquisition, bad content, low show rate, low trust, disorganized team, lack of clarity on what steps to take, and they feel like they think that time is what's holding them back. They think that, they don't have enough time, or they think that in certain time they're gonna hit 100k a month. I'm already doing everything right, it's just a matter of time, right? Like, that's a belief that they have that is limiting them. One of their fears is that it'll slowly fall apart. They don't know how much they'll make this month, or if they're able to even, how much profit they're able to make each month, because they have to pay for their team and their systems aren't consistent. They want to get to 100k a month, high profit, dream clients, high trust, objectionless sales calls and DM closes, working on the business rather than in the business, and having clarity and being able to scale consistently. That's the info business people want, that is high cash flow and that is consistent. Now, what do they consider unrealistic? Well, they consider this unrealistic in a way. Now, it's not like they consider it that they can't achieve it. However, they think that certain things need to fall into place before they do it. I need more case studies before I'm able to do it. I need more time before I'm able to do it. They just don't know that if they had all the right tools, they would have already had all those things. Now, what do they consider normal? Complex funnels, huge organic presence, 12-hour workdays, and all these things to try and make it work. What stopped them from buying before? Thinking that they can do it themselves, bad experiences with other people they've worked with are the main things, right? And also the main thing is that they think they can do it themselves and that it's just a matter of time. Well, so my competitors, what are their advantages? Well, they have more time. Like, they've been doing this for 3 years. I've only been doing this for 9 months. And when I was doing this in the start, I was still in school and I had very limited amount of time that I could work per day. These people that have been posting content for years, they've been building up, even if it's a very small percent of their clients that are successful, they've been building up case studies for years. And when you've built this all for years, it's a very, very solid foundation. Another advantage that they had was lifestyle. They've been traveling around a lot for a while. I mean, I literally wasn't able to travel. Like, I was in school and everything. Another advantage they have is that they overcomplicate everything, right? So they make people think they're smart by overcomplicating basic concepts. What are their weak spots? Well, that they use outdated methods. They have weak fulfillment, which in the end will catch up to them because word spreads very, very quickly in this way of doing business. And the fact that they're overcomplicating things are also their weak spots because some people aren't attracted to that. And when someone shows that this is just overcomplicated and how simple it really is, then the entire facade falls apart. And they're not technical and committed enough, right? Like they're trying to travel, they're with all these girls, like they're not spending a lot of time and they're not committed enough to the business. What content from them generates attention from my ICP? Typically like Miro boards, lifestyle content, what's not being talked about enough that actually matters. How to run the profile funnel, data tracking, positioning and messaging, like unique angles, what I'm going over in this video, and what's actually working now, like what ads are working now. Like not just what used to work a few months before, when everything was easy, or years before when everything was easy and you could just put up an ad that says, if you are a person struggling with this and this, and you would just make ROAS, like, no, that's not how the market works anymore, right? So they're not talking about what's actually working now. And what are they not being transparent about? The fulfillment. They're not being transparent about their fulfillment and how in the trenches they are with their clients. What did my clients, current and past, pay me money for? They paid me because they had bad fulfillment on their previous programs. They saw my ads all the time, so they know that I'm actually doing it because my results are insanely good. They've paid me because of all my data, right? Like they can see that I have the data on all these offers. Maybe they're in a similar niche and they realize that access to this data gives them access to what's working in the moment, which is the most important thing. They've probably seen everyone copy me. And if I can hit 100K a month at 16, then why can't you? So based on all these market research, these are all questions you need to ask to be able to understand your positioning. So based on this, I'm going to show you my positioning. The market is confused. They want predictable growth and they want simplicity. So instead of posting advanced Miro videos, what do I show? I show that I'm DM closing while being in the forest because I'm showing that, hey, it's not that hard. I'm a 16-year-old and I can do DM closes. Why can't you? Right? Another one here, I'm talking about my competitors that are confusing the market and have a poor backend. Basically saying, hey, if you're one of these people who make the complicated Miro videos, all you're doing is educating the markets and you're going to give them to me because I'm going to convert them because they'll see that my solution is better, my results are better, the way I work with clients are better. And so basically what I'm saying is, hey, you know, if you're making these Miro board videos, you're overcomplicating it and I'm going to take your clients. And so I'm calling out the competitors, I'm calling out their weak spots right here, like that they're overcomplicating things. If I go onto my stories, I'll show you another example here. So this is a story I made here, and I'm showing exactly why people work with me. Hey, this is why people work with me. Work with me over all these other people in the space. It's 10:50 a.m. now. I woke up at 5 a.m. I've just been building new systems and setting up. Like I'm showing this. Hey, I woke up at 5 a.m. I've been building new systems for clients. All the data is tracked, and we have all the data on these offers. And I'm showing how I'm delivering for clients, the exact client portals, how we build the entire game plan. Because no one else is doing that for their clients. They'll just kind of, they probably won't even speak to you. That's what I'm saying as well. Like they won't even speak to you, and if they do, you'll just kind of be given some like broad level stuff that is difficult to implement. So I'm calling out in ads and in reels and in stories, I'm calling out the weak spots. I'm mentioning the weak spots of my competitors, which gives them a reason to work with me, especially if they've been kind of, a lot of people have been kind of burned here. Burned by my competitors. When I mention these things, that builds more trust. Now, obviously, you know, this part, the market research, just keep it in mind when you're making videos. Keep in mind what emotions your ICP feels, what beliefs they have, because these are the things we need to address. And then the last part is like, what is my unique angle? What is it that no one else has that I can give to the market? So you'll see here, for example, in an ad, I show it. The fact that I have all the data. The fact that I'm actually in the trenches with people. This is an ad that I did. I'm going to actually show it to you. So right here, I'm bringing in all my selling points. That I have a new method because obviously I've had to find the new profile funnel that I invented because I'm 16, right? Like I had no track record. Had I tried the same things as other people, I wouldn't have been successful. I'm showing that. I'm showing that I have all the data. And right here, I'm literally showing exactly, I'm showing all my data points. And then the unique angle, which I'm literally showing in my ads and content all the time. So right here, this ad is literally starts with, this is why people work with me. I'm running it on retargeting. And I'm showing that I have every single data point that is tracked because I spend more technical time. I'm in the trenches and I know what works better than anyone else because I do. Like I do spend time in the trenches and I do get every single data point tracked on all the offers and I know all the data and I know what they should be. And I also show hey, like I show the client results that are obviously really good. But then I also show how we deliver for clients, because that's the unique angle. Like, we're in the trenches with clients. We're providing the best fulfillment in the market. And these are the things that I show. This is the unique angle. I know it works because I have the data. It's fast, consistent, it's predictable. I show the acquisition process. It's very simple. I break it down in a very simple way. Like in my ads, I'll show you another one. Like, I show it in a very simple way. I just show, hey, here's my Instagram, and this is how I got an 11x ROAS on ads. But I show it all in a very, very simple way so people understand that it's simple. I show that I have all the data on it so they can just take my systems, because I know what works in the moment, because I have the data and I'm in the trenches. And that's my positioning. That's how I position myself in the market. When everyone is being serious and overcomplicating things, number one, I show that it's not that complicated by being more funny, by showing more of me. And then as they go deeper in the funnel, I also show that I have the data, I have the best fulfillment, I'm technical, and I know what I'm doing. That is how you master positioning, and that is how I was able to grow my business so fast. Go ahead and show you another client's positioning. Now, this is Sebastian. Basically what he does is he does 60K a month right now coaching AI agencies. And his positioning is so genius that when I show it to you, you're gonna get a deja vu moment. Because what we're doing here is called sleight of hand. It's when you put the attention here, and the trick really happens here. It's the same thing Iman did. I'm just an agency owner, guys, and it's not a sexy business, and you put the attention one place, and then the real trick happens here. So what are we doing in all the ads? How I make 60K a month at 19 by selling AI to businesses. He makes 60K a month doing info. It's right in front of your eyes, but that's what we're showing. We're putting the attention here that I'm doing this with AI. I'm doing this with AI, and it's like everything ties into the positioning. And I'll show you this. So what is the positioning here? AI, gold rush, and FOMO. People obviously want to get into AI. They want an easy way to tap into AI without being extremely technical. That's why we make the videos in selfie format. That's why we make the ads in selfie format. Because that communicates that, hey, I'm not technical. I'm just a normal guy. And I found this little AI thing in the AI gold rush that's making me so much money. That is exactly how you do positioning. You communicate it. You know that they want an easy way to tap into AI. So in our ads, what are we gonna do? We're gonna show it in a very, very simple way. We're gonna film him like this so people understand he's just a normal guy. And then we're gonna kind of mention it, We're gonna be like, I'm not very technical, so I'll just outsource it to other people. I'll just outsource it to a developer. That is exactly how you do positioning. That is how you use it in ads. That's how we do it in the reels. This one taps heavy into FOMO. This one taps into the fact that he's not technical, and it also shows that, hey, it's sleight of hand, Like people don't want to buy from a coach. They want to buy from someone who is like them. Someone who is like them, but they just kind of stumbled upon this new shiny thing that they haven't heard of before. They want to be entertained, right? So we're presenting it in a new way, where he doesn't come across as technical. Another one here is where he talks about outdated, what's the competitors? Well, they're outdated business model. They're outdated business models, like, copywriting, freelancing, dropshipping, all these things AI are gonna replace, and you don't know when it's gonna be replaced. That is the angle. And you need to learn technical things to execute on the business model, right? Like if you wanna do some of these other AI business models, you have to learn how to technically manage everything, but this one you can just outsource. I just outsourced, and I signed them for 10K, and I just outsourced it for $1,500. And these other people, they don't actively do the business themselves. They just sell a course because the business doesn't work anymore. So what are we doing? The complete opposite. Number one, we're showing, hey, they're saying AI won't replace my job. AI won't replace my freelancing. AI won't replace what I'm doing right now. We're instilling the FOMO into them that, hey, if you're not taking advantage of AI, then it's over for you. That's the first part that we're beating our competitors with, that might be selling to these beginners. The other part is the needing to learn technical things. We're beating that because we make it seem super simple by the way he formulates it, by the way we film it. In every single point, the positioning is so carefully taken care of. And the other part, they don't actually do the business themselves. Why do you think we say how I make 60K a month using AI?
I understand why more people aren't doing this, but I just made shy of $60,000 last month by putting together.
Everything ties into the positioning. And when you have these things, this is when we have the unique angle. We're saying, number one, we're rephrasing it as AI infrastructure agency, which means it can be outsourced to a developer. You don't have to learn this crazy advanced thing. It can be outsourced at 85% profit margin. I'm just this 19-year-old guy, and I'm making 60K a month traveling Europe doing this thing. It's sleight of hand. That's the unique angle. Put the attention here, the real trick happens here. And the intersection of all this creates the positioning that is communicated in every single ad, and every single one that we make. Even look at this. 60K a month with AI without knowing how to code. It's communicated even in the captions. The positioning is the ground layer, it's the backbone of active selling. And when you do it right, it'll passively sell for you as well. And we'll do this with every single offer we create. We create some unique way of positioning it. So with Alec, how are we positioned him? He's this like wholesome, he's doing 130K a month because of his positioning. He's this wholesome, genuine guy, this, you know, if a homeless, you know, look at this, right? So the market right now for this is oversaturated and it's confused. What business model should I do? What should I do? I don't know. And they want something clear, they want something believable, and they want a fast entry point. So that's how we position him. You know, I have a 16-year-old who's making 1K a day, and you know, guys, like, if a homeless college dropout can do it, then so can you. You know, look, if you look at his videos, he's just a normal guy who's made money with this new TikTok thing because TikTok blew up so fast that there's just money everywhere. And because we show him as just like them, you know, that's what the market wants. And then we look at the competitors. We're giving them outdated models. People are tired of these outdated models. People always want something new. Like, why do you think, for example, you know, Brez says brand scaling? Scaling brands, running ads for brands? It's just SMMA, but it's reworded because people are tired of anything that sounds outdated and difficult. Basically, what we want to show is here. For example, in this video, TikTok Shop killed dropshipping. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you right now.
Dropshippers are on TikTok Shop because it is the lowest barrier to entry, and TikTok is making this.
Do you see this? It's the lowest barrier to entry. This is literally what we wrote here. This is what the market wants. They want something that's low barrier to entry.
So streamlined for creators, for sellers, for everybody to make money. They're trying to take over the whole e-com space, and they already are. It hasn't even been.
So TikTok Shop is basically taking over e-commerce. That's the angle. Now that business model is dead. And you know, nobody else wants these difficult business models. You know, if you want to do closing, you have to get ready and you have to learn tonality and you have to learn how to speak and you have to have the nice background and you have to look good and then you have to get a good role and have the right connections and the right skills. And you know, if you want to do dropshipping, well, it's outdated, it's being replaced anyway. With this TikTok creator thing, you know, brands will literally just give you products, you post videos. TikTok is an app that does $32 million a day, so they'll pretty much just hand you money for making videos with these products, and you don't even have to show your face if you don't want to. Like this 16-year-old just did a 1K day. When you see the positioning, it's so obvious what they're doing, which is why no one else is talking about it. And that is how we position them. That's how we make 130K a month, because we're giving the market what they want. We're showing how the competitors are not giving them what they want, and that creates the unique angle. We're closing a gap between what the market wants and what's currently there. That's business for centuries. But right now, you just communicate it in a different way. That's all that info is. It's positioning yourself the right way to close the gap between what the market wants and what's already there. So it's a new opportunity. And it comes across as easy. You know, if a homeless college dropout can do it, then so can you. And that's also why we've structured him like this. He looks like a normal guy, and that's intentional. We don't want him to look like Iman Gaji, you know, he's this, you know, very calibrated person. He doesn't come across as a normal guy. There's no relatability. This is what the market wants. And we're seeing the pendulum shift. Before, everyone wanted the kind of technical, speak to the camera, Iman Gaji style. Now the market is shifting, and we saw that with Alec, and it's a perfect example. He had 130K a month because we understood positioning. Now, I'm gonna show you a last one. This is very, very interesting. Before, I've shown you something called sleight of hand. I've shown you how to find what the market wants and position yourself uniquely in kind of like a sneaky way to be the number one option, to be the go-to coach. However, there's also a different tactic, and that is, instead of doing sleight of hand, you completely dominate a niche and you just prove that you are the best. That is when you find something where no one else is really doing it, you can monopolize the market like we did with Andres. This is a completely different example. So what we're seeing us do here is number one DPDR recovery coach. We're positioning him as the best. And because it's completely unoccupied, there's really no competition, right? Like we're showing, hey, I'm the best in the world, everyone knows it. We have 43-day average recovery time. We have 100% success rate. Like, he positions himself as like, I'm the best, I'm undeniable. And because of his results, people can't deny it. And there is no real competition. The competition is psychiatrists, but we're just gonna say, hey, psychiatrists won't understand you. They haven't had depersonalization, derealization disorder. Everyone knows a therapist can't help with this. If a therapist could have helped with it, you would have already recovered. You know, all these people, I've had people recover within weeks because we're tapping into neuroplasticity. But your therapist doesn't know that because the therapist hasn't gone through this. I'm the only one who knows it. I am the savior of the market. I'm your only solution. That's why on literally most offers aren't doing this. It's a mental health offer. and we're closing $9,000 pay-in-fulls because we've monopolized the market. How else can you step into the market when this guy's positioned himself as the number one? You can't. We're taking up all the space. Instead of sleight of hand where you put the tension here and then the trick happens here, I'm the best. We take all the space. There's no room for anything else. And that is another way to do it. It's just to show that you have the best results. So this becomes like the unique angle is, hey, you know, you have this problem. The belief that we've had to solve though is that we need to show this, but then there also needs to be a sense of relatability. Some people will be a little bit scared. You know, they're having this mental problem and then here's this guy who's like, I'm the best, I'm your savior, come work with me. So what do? We have to, again, rewire those limiting beliefs. That's why here I'm saying, what beliefs do they have? For example, with me, you know, they believe that scaling to 100K a month will take time. That allows them to give themselves an excuse. These people might believe that DPDR, you can't recover from it. So what is he saying? Your brain is infinitely reprogrammable. No matter how fucked your current situation is, you can always go back to normal because your brain is neuroplastic. So we're defeating their beliefs. Now they have no excuse because now he's saying, hey, you know, I have all these recoveries, your brain is neuroplastic, anyone can recover. They're just stripped away from their excuses. And then he's saying therapists can't help you because you've already spoken to therapists and you haven't gotten the help. Okay, that's true. I've been through it and I have the most recoveries. You know, and they can go onto his profile. Look, you'll see it here. You know, here's where we're saying, hey, I'm the best in the world. Here's where we're saying, you know, obviously therapists, they won't be able to help you. And then
It's not, and I want to be very clear here, this is not therapy by any means. We all know that therapy does not work for...
We all know that therapy does not work. This is the only solution, basically. And then we're showing that he's went through it. All the proof that he's went through it. And that is how you monopolize the market, by establishing yourself as the best. If some therapist now comes in and is like, I'm going to help you overcome DPDR because I have a degree, there's no space for them left. Because we've completely monopolized the market by breaking their beliefs, so they have to look for a solution. We're making the market problem aware. This is what happens when you go into a new market. When you go into a market like BizOp, starting a new business opportunity, already all these people are trying to make money. When you go into a completely new market, you need to first make them problem aware that, hey, look, there is a solution. Because then they have it can be solved. Now they have to look for the solution. Then, hey, there is no competition. There's no one else that's doing this. There's no one else that has these results, and therapy doesn't work. And they're like, what do I do? Well, look, that's why we have a story highlight where it's like, this is what my one-to-one program is. Most people don't have that because they can't. But with the way we've positioned him, he's the only solution they have. And when we're positioning someone as the only solution the prospect has, the best and only solution they can have to get to from point A to point B, then it becomes stupidly simple to take over and market. These are all different ways of positioning themselves. For example, me, I'm closing a gap between what the market wants. They want predictable growth, they want it to be simple. So I'm showing that it's simple. They don't want things to be overcomplicated, and they don't want people that have a crazy front end with a very, very bad back end. So I'm showing my back end, and I'm showing that it's not complicated. And you know, I'm showing that I have all the data and that I'm in the trenches, because that's what people want. That's the unique angle. You know, I'm 16, I have more time, I'm more technical. I've built this at 16, so if you're older, then why can't you? And I have all these people doing 100K a month that I'm helping, so why can't you? Like, that's my positioning. I've shown you someone who's doing sleight of hand, which is one of the most powerful techniques that Iman did, that Brez does, that we've implemented for this guy to take him to 60K a month. We're booking 10 calls a day pretty consistently from $100 a day in ads. I've shown you how to position yourself as, you know, like, hey guys, I'm just a normal guy, you can be like me, to tap into a section of the market that other people can't reach. And I've shown you how to completely monopolize the market. Now, I went through the positioning of a business doing 60K a month, one doing 130K a month, another one doing 60K a month, and my very own that's doing 80K a month, which I can because my backend is actually solid. If you want to see exactly what your positioning should be in the market, because it's different for everyone, then book a strategy call below. We'll go through your exact business, and I'm going to custom tailor your positioning so that you can scale to 100K a month. Because if you have the right positioning, which is the backbone of your entire business, once you have the right positioning, every ad gets twice as much ROAS. Your sales team performs twice as well because you hit your ICP in a way that no one else can do. It's passive selling, or the backbone of active selling, like I said. So book a free strategy call below, and we'll build out your exact positioning that you can use to scale past 100K a month, 200K a month, wherever you want to go with your business.